how the tax code is, it screws W-2 employees. The tax code was created for business owners because we're the ones taking the risk.
Entrepreneurship is
Tough. There's two types of value. You have intrinsic value and you have perceived value. Intrinsic value is like, if I invest $100, I might get $300 back. Your perceived value is, if I invest time, energy, and effort, how much is that going to help the world? You have like tax evasion and tax avoidance. What got Ja Rule and Fat Joe in trouble is that they did tax evasion. The IRS, they get more mad at you for not filing than not paying. Most business owners, they have their like aha moment when it comes to failure. Failure is not failure. Failure is a lesson that you'll never, ever, ever in your life forget about.
What's going on, y'all, man? It's your boy HD, man. We're live here at the Life of HD podcast, man. As always, I got my brother, the development doctor, in the building, man. What's good, baby?
Man, amazing, bro. It's been an amazing week, amazing time, amazing month, man. You know what time it is, man.
Yeah.
Then we got our brother Mario in the building. How you feeling?
Man, I feel good. I'm blessed to be here, man, waking in the morning. But before we go any further, I just got to congratulate you guys, man. Like, so you guys are running up with your business. Like, when a person first starts a business, 50% of businesses fail in the first year. 84% of business fail in the second year. And you guys are making well over 8 figures. Like, not even 1% of businesses make 8 figures ever. And you guys are doing it young. And you're African-American. Like, 0.02% of African-American companies make 10 figures a year. So, like, you guys are doing exceptionally well. You just had a child. Congratulations. So I'm just happy to sit on the couch. You know, Rick James was like, F your couch. I'm sitting on it. You know what I'm saying? So we good.
Now, we appreciate you for coming, man. That's, as always, man, I receive hearing things like that too, you know, because a lot of the times me and my brother, we spend so much time just working, head down, just consistently locked in, that we don't even really like take the time to really appreciate sometimes like the amount of like success that we've been able to create, and then the lives that we've been able to change through the different businesses that we started. It's just amazing just being able to impact other people and employ other people. Like, we recently just started another logistics company here. And when you think about it, what it was like 2 weeks ago when UPS let off, what, like 100,000 something people?
Yeah, a lot of people. I think it was like 15,000 people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that they let go. And, you know, we still here able to give opportunities and put other people on, and also spreading the knowledge, like, you know what I'm saying? And making sure that we not only are successful ourselves, but we teaching other people how to get there too.
Yeah.
Man, sure. I think really, you know, with the success, great success comes great risk. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to be rewarded, you have to take the risk.
Of course.
So a lot of the times, as you said, man, it's very difficult to be successful as a new business, and scaling is extremely difficult.
Yeah.
What I think people don't talk about enough is how painful it is to progress, to profit, and to develop, and in the sense of the long hours, the financial strain, and initially the having to figure it out, and the liability. You know, as entrepreneurs, sometimes it's a misconception that you don't have to work if you're the business owner, but really you own the business, the job, the responsibility, you own everything, man.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So coming into that, we go into you, man. So you have an amazing brand, an amazing vision, an amazing mission, and you explain how profits are painful, right? So give us an idea of what made you kind of take that as your branding. And
But typically, most business owners, like, they have their like aha moment when it comes to failure, right? So people love success, but like I always say, failure is not failure. Failure is a lesson that you'll never, ever, ever in your life forget about. And so through that failure, then you start to scale up. But that pain that you have allows you to be laser focused in profits going forward. So like anytime we invest money, we always look at the pain points. Like, how would you feel? So I wrote a best-selling book called The Relaxed Investor that kind of talks about like the investment philosophy. So you research. So anytime I do something, I want to research, right? E is evaluate. So I want to evaluate how I feel innerly. Like, if I'm going to feel good or bad if the investment goes belly up. The L is locate. So as you guys know in real estate, location, right? Yep. The A is analyze. So you want to analyze your circle. So if this investment goes great, how is my circle going to feel? Because you guys know when you start making money, the circle gets smaller, people get to hating, right? Or if the investment goes bad, analyze your inner circle. Are they going to feel some type of way? They're going to talk about you. You know what I'm saying? Then the X is for execution. So going through that investment philosophy, when we make our profits, it feels good. But like I said, the pain part is we always look back at like what happened that was painful, and then we make profits afterwards.
That's dope, man. I think that's an amazing full circle thought process of it that a lot of people don't think about. And I like how you touch on the circle, because they always say it's lonely at the top, right?
It is very lonely at the top. Very lonely at the top, my brother.
Yeah, and I never understood it, honestly, until we have began to be more prevalent, like on social media, and kind of showing.
Yeah.
People knew us for our work, but they didn't necessarily know what we were doing to what scale physically. But, you know, it did kind of start to see that way, that, you know, as you scale, your circle does get smaller. Sometimes people you think, you know, you would always have been friends with for life, they start to hate on you and things like that, you know, kind of progress and show you different views of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just always wonder why sometimes the success has to be painful.
Yeah. So to piggyback on that, people say like it's all about my day ones. I'd be like, F my day ones, it's about my day twos. Because like your day ones, half of them, when you're growing your business, they hating on you, right? So like if you start wearing stuff that looks good, they're gonna say he thinks he's Hasta Diddy. If you don't look good or you dress like baggy, it's like he wants to be like everybody else. It's like you can't win. So like I had a lot of people I grew up with, and as time went on, as I became successful, the rooms that I got into, the people I met that was kind of going through the same thing I was going through, like growing their business, growing their company, but the friends felt some type of way. Like those are the ones I gravitated to. So it just rings with me when you say like is lonely at the top. Like it is. Like so I know. So first off, it's not a lot of certified financial planners that's Black, anyways, right?
Yeah, that's huge.
But when I started years ago, it was a group of about 11 of us, and we would like talk. You know, we would have conversations. Like over time, one person would leave the business, one person wasn't growing properly, and now it's like me and another person. So like all 11 people that started is like not here today, and then we just always kind of go back and forth about like how like the struggles that we had made us better, but at the same time, the people that was with us before, they're not here anymore.
Yeah, I think a lot of the times when you are starting off in the beginning, right, or even when you say like with the day one situation, they feel like they know you for that person that you are at that time period. Yeah. Whereas when you growing, you're supposed to evolve and change.
Of course.
Right? So that when you do reach that level of success, the people that were your day ones, they might not recognize you when you get to this level because you're a new person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So like part of my backstory. So I got expelled my 9th grade year of high school. Like I wouldn't do it, like just doing crazy stuff, instigating fights, just just being a bad kid, right? Yeah. So people I went to high school with always looks at me as that bad person. Like I got blessed my sophomore, junior, senior year. I got straight A's and B's, but when I graduated, I had a 1.9 GPA. So I had like the big colleges. Please let me in, please. And 2 colleges said yes, Alabama State and Tennessee State. So definitely we support our HBCUs.
For sure.
But yeah, and so Tennessee State let me in. I had to take remedial classes because I had a 1.9 GPA. Now you look full circle now, I help manage the endowment, right? So it's full circle. But my friends from high school, if I ever go back, because I have real estate back in Cincinnati, if I ever go back, it's like that. I don't say like a jealousy. It's not a word, but it's just the feel of like, I remember you, and like you're not this person that you are now. But it's like I am this person where I am now. Like I got mature. Like I'm not that 15, 16-year-old kid that was being
not
bad.
The same person
Yeah. I got gray hairs now. Like it's different. You know what I'm saying? But it just So
and if you was acting the same way you was in high school, then I think that'd be a problem.
I would be an old YN. That's what I'd be.
For sure.
Yeah.
So how you feel like your mindset has shifted from, like you saying, back then to where you are today?
Yeah.
And how's that help you grow in your businesses?
Oh, totally different. And also part of that mindset with me joining the military. So when I got into college, because my parents, I have 2 younger brothers, a younger sister, and like affording college would be tough, right? So I joined the military. So I think the military helped me a lot just for being mature. right? But from a mindset standpoint, I look at things way different. Like I look into a situation of not I can't, but how can I conquer and how can I make things better? And like how can I add value? So I always say it's two types of value, right? You have intrinsic value and you have perceived value. Intrinsic value is like, okay, $1. Like if I invest $100, I might get $300 back. Like that's your intrinsic value. Your perceived value is if I invest time, energy, and effort, how much is that going to help the world? So like my whole thought process is like, how can I add as much perceived value as possible? Because the more perceived value I add is going to turn into intrinsic value. So my mindset is just on value. So when I do content, so I've been like on the internet for like a year, even though I've been doing it for 18 years, got one of the largest Black-owned investment firms in Florida. Like I had the mindset shift that, okay, if I'm going to help the world and I really want to help people, then I need to add as much perceived value as possible. So like my whole mind is about adding value. And when you add value, the money comes. Like it's not about the money, it's about the value. When you add value, you make money. Just like you guys. You guys are adding so much value. And the value that you're adding is bringing you so much money.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the key. Value add. See, a lot of times people come around and there's no add of value. They'll ask for help, but like, how can you help me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're big on mutually beneficial relationships, mutually beneficial connections, bonds. How do we all grow and syndicate together? But for me, man, I think I was most interested when you said CFP, Certified Financial Planner. What is that?
Yeah, so certified financial planner. So it's basically a life insurance agent, financial advisor, estate attorney, and a accountant in one, right? So yeah, so we have to take a test. So I got my degree from Tennessee State University, but then I had to get another degree from the College of Financial Planning. Then I had to sit for the test. Now things have changed now. But like when I took it, 12 years ago, it was like a 14% pass rate. So a lot of financial advisors take it, but they just don't, So it's a lot of work. It's about 2.5 years of studying. But basically, again, all those kind of industries, agent-wise, in one. So unlike most other financial advisors, even certified financial planners, how we run our practice, how our firm operates, how we help clients is totally different. And I think that's why we have been so successful, and that's why I think we add so much intrinsic value and perceived value to people as well, because how we run our firm as a CFP.
So let me ask you this. A lot of times people that have those types of home offices and setups are typically rich or wealthy people. Who's a good person for you? Like who is your target client or demographic? If I work at Waffle House, could I have a financial planner, or do I have to make a certain amount of money, or what's your typical demographic?
Yeah. So everybody's different. We do have investment minimums just because we want to help people. We want to help people holistically. So our investment minimum is $250,000. From a niche standpoint, if you're a business owner that makes $150,000, you're a good fit. If you are a W-2 employee that just started, if you make $200,000 or more, that's when you're a good fit, because we lean in from a tax standpoint. So what separates, one of many reasons that separates us is that most financial advisors, they make money one way and one way only. It's on fees, right? So when you invest money in the stock market, they charge you a fee, which is fine. I have fees, so I'm not anti-fee. And you pay attention when you pay. So everybody, I recommend to have an advisor. However, most, not most, but all advisors, that's how they get paid. For us, we do not just do stock market investments. We recommend real estate. Every single client of ours, we recommend them have at least one property so they can take advantage of the tax structure, which of course I think we'll talk about later, right? So when a person has a financial advisor and they retain him, in my opinion, they're already not being helped as much, because if my payment structure is to make money in the stock market, but me as a consumer, I want to make money in other ways besides the stock market, I'm already not being helped, right? So like with us, we lean into the tax strategies. We have an internal CPA, we have an external CPA firm. So we lean into how you can maximize your money and decrease your tax liability.
Man, that's beautiful. I think a lot of times people don't talk enough about the balance of real estate. So when we talk about retirements and stuff, people say, oh, don't put your money in real estate. But I think it's the ignorance of not understanding how real estate works and the actual tax relief that you can get from it.
Yeah.
Now, when you talk about stocks, we do a lot of stock investing as well. I
Shameless
primarily
plug. Shout out my boy Aristotle, Honey Drip Network. Y'all know what time it is.
The
Facts.
Drip Report.
Let's
You
go.
know it. So Austin kind of manages our Robinhood and our day to day, along with Aristotle and Jeff doing the actual trading and stuff. So with the drip, man, tell the people about the Honey Drip, Austin.
Man, all in one investing, man. So I'm pretty. You already in the drip,
I'm
right?
I've made hundreds of $1,000s. So Aristotle, thank you. And for my clients, we've made we probably increased our AUM probably about $5 to $6 million with some of the trades we did for our clients.
$5 to $6 million off the drip, man. Stop playing. But yeah, like we said, man, all in one investing. We doing stocks. So you learning about option trades, swing trades, leaps. So the long term plays as well. And then me and my brother, we're in the Discord as well, where we giving out real estate gems, real estate keys. We telling y'all about the projects that we working on. We going in depth and really showing you guys step by step from fixing flips to new constructions, like everything in between, as far as like the funding side, the lending. You know, we really doing everything. We even have a sports betting chat in there as well. And they getting some money in there too.
Now that we sitting there talking about it, it's making me think, man, we have to have Mario come on and do a segment on planning, taxes, those types of things, because in the Honey Drip, we're teaching people how to make the money.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
But then, as you know, once you make money, now you have a tax problem.
Capital gains is a
So,
mother.
Yeah.
That's why Aristotle, he's in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
You know, if you move to Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
you have no tax gain.
Yeah,
so
family.
at that point, you're able to kind of, you know, not avoid taxes, but you're given so many incentives for living there that you don't have any taxes essentially.
Yeah.
But
And if I could tap in, like, so from a tax standpoint, like there's two things you look at it. You have like tax evasion and tax avoidance. What got Ja Rule and Fat Joe in trouble is that they did tax evasion.
Yeah.
But like for our clients, we like to do tax avoidance. So how can we use the tax code to our advantage? How can we buy real estate? How can we have capital gains in our investments, but then offset that by being a material participation where we have like an Airbnb, or we have a storage unit where it's material participation, so we can have those write-offs tied to our W-2 income
them.
that decrease our money. So we want to avoid taxes, not evade them.
Yep.
that's huge, man. So I want to make sure I understand the two different concepts. So avoiding tax is strategizing. That's purchasing properties, that's buying, let's say Section 179 vehicles or moving to Puerto Rico, where you still technically saying, hey, IRS, I did make $1 million. Here's the paperwork, but here are the things that I spent it on for deductions.
Correct.
Now, evasion is just
Not paying.
Well, actually, the IRS, they get more mad at you for not filing than not paying.
not
right?
filing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
They
that's,
want to know how much. They want to know what you made.
yeah,
they want to
correct.
see.
Yeah, they correct. Yeah, so like, so how like John Gotti got in trouble. Not all like the mafia stuff he was doing, but it was like the tax evasion stuff, right?
Yeah.
So like when you don't file, when you have income but you don't file, so like they want to know. Now, for most people, if I have like a W-2 job or I have like a 1099, I got money in the account, like that information is being given to the IRS. So like they know, but they want you to file. So you actually get in more trouble not filing compared to not paying because if you file, then of course you have the penalties, you have the interest. They're gonna get their money. They're either gonna garnish your wages, it's the IRS. So it's the three-letter boys you don't want to mess with: the FBI, the CIA, and the IRS.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yes, So they gonna find a way to get your money. But when you don't file, then that's when you can get yourself in some trouble legally.
So let me ask you this, right? A lot of people say, oh, I don't make enough money to file taxes. Do you know, is there a specific number that you have to make to file, or is everybody supposed to file? If I make $10,000 a year, do I file, or how does that work?
Yeah. So it's we're in 2025, so who knows what's gonna happen next year, but 15,300. So we do this from a payroll standpoint, which we'll talk about here in a second, of course, as well. But for $15,300, that's when we quote unquote, don't pay taxes, right? But like they know, so a person who has Social Security. So I have clients that have their investments going up like crazy, and they're just on Social Security. Social Security by itself, that's the only thing that you get. You don't quote unquote file because it's a government program, so they kind of know what you're getting. But
No matter how much you get in Social Security.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a government program, so they know. So that's your only income. Then you're good. Now if you got Social Security and a pension, then of course you got to file. If you got Social Security and you're taking distributions, especially if you're 72 and a half, it's called RMD, required minimum distribution. But it's ways from a tax standpoint, you can use that RMD and put that in something else. You can do a foundation, you can do what you call a donor advised fund, where now, so let me take a step back. So RMD is required minimum distribution. So the IRS knows that when you pass away, if you have a beneficiary, you can pass down your IRA, your 401k directly to your family or to any beneficiary, and they don't pay taxes. Eventually, they have to pay taxes, but that first get that they get, they don't pay taxes. They know that. So they make you take out 5% of your account value every year. And as you get older, it goes up. So let's say I'm 73 years old, I got 100 grand, I got to take out $5,000 the first year. Now I'm 74, I got to take out 5,600. And as I get older, that number gets up because they want that tax money while you're living, because when you pass away, you can pass it down and your family don't got to pay taxes for up to 10 years, right? So they know that. So a lot of individuals who have large amounts in their 401k or large amounts in their IRA, they're getting bing. So if I got $1 million, that's $50,000. If I don't need the money, I don't want to pay the IRS $50,000. Right. So we do things like I said, donor advised funds. We have the money go straight to a foundation. You could donate, if you have stocks, you could donate that stock directly to a charitable, like your church, for instance. So we have clients that actually pay their tithe through their required minimum distribution, right? And so when it goes directly to a nonprofit or to the church, it's a tax deduction. So yeah, we pay taxes when it goes out, but it goes directly to that nonprofit. So basically it's a wash. Right. So it's ways, again, you can avoid paying taxes.
That's dope, man. So what are your favorite ways to avoid taxes? Like, and I would say, give me something that the average person that's listening to this podcast could look at. A lot of people have a job and they're like, man, I'm making 6 figures. This is great. But how do I not have to pay taxes? How do I get a business to offset this? Yeah.
So kind of 2 trains of thoughts, W-2 employee and then non-W-2 employee. So we'll talk about the W-2 employee first, right? So how the tax code is, it screws W-2 employees, right? The tax code was created for business owners because we're the ones taking the risk. So since we're taking the risk, the IRS rewards us for taking those risks. So from real estate standpoint, well, W-2 employee, first we want to max out our 401k, right? So you can max out $25,000. If you're 50 or above, it's $32,000. So if I make $100,000, I go from $100,000 to let's say we put in $30,000 for over 50. We go for $100,000 to $70,000. That helps. We can do what you call an HSA, health savings account. I had 3 clients last year, with 2 clients get had their gastric bypass surgery paid, and then a couple had a BBL actually paid by doing an HSA. HSA, yeah. As easy as it is, you can put, if you're single, you can put $4,000, $4,300. If you're married, you can put $8,600 in it. So the money is like triple tax advantage because we put the money in, the money is tax deferred. So again, use that $100,000 number. I go now.
So they can use their taxes to pay for their BBL.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to it. It's crazy. Yeah,
so that's $65K. You dropped it from 100 to 65 essentially.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, just doing those 2 things. But the quickly the HSA, so we put it in. It's tax deferred, right? It grows. So I mean, it's tax deductible. When it grows, I'm not paying any taxes as it's growing. But then when I take it out, if I do it for prescriptions or for something that my doctor deems necessary, like gastric bypass surgery, or in these people's case, a BBL, because it was part of a gastric bypass surgery, you take it out tax-free.
Wow. Dope, man.
Yeah.
So then what about for a business owner? Like for us, like, okay.
Oh yeah. So but I want to show people how to get to zero taxes, right? Cool, because still, so now that 100,000, 65,000, still some taxes, but then we buy a property. And once we buy a property, then we can do what we call, of course, a cost segregation study, where we're able to depreciate instead of 27 years. So I look at a house like a car. Like when I buy a house, I said a house worth $300,000. I have the land, then I have the actual structure. The land always appreciates, right? A land is appreciating asset because supply and demand, right? It's not going to be no new land. It's only one earth. Right. Now we're in Atlanta. We got an alien shouty, so he might say it's another planet somewhere. But what I know is just Earth. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, but your house depreciates just like a car. So the IRS over 27 years says, hey, since it's going to go down, the pipe's going to bust, you're going to change the toilet, we're going to give you a deduction. We're doing a cost segregation study. You have an engineer firm that actually comes out to the property and say, hey, whatever the cost is over 27 years, you're able to depreciate that in 5 years. So if it's $150,000 over 5 years, that's $30,000 a year. So now that $65,000 turns into $30,000 taxable income. And then, of course, you have our itemized deductions. So that basically another $32,000, we pay zero taxes.
Yeah.
So I just gave y'all the play. If you make $100,000, how you can literally pay no taxes legally and have an asset.
Yep.
Your 401k and your real estate. Cash flow and growth.
That's the game. He giving y'all the game
It's
right
like
now.
6,
If you pay
7,
attention,
right? Yeah.
You feel me? You're gonna be in the right place. You feel me?
Yeah.
Man, that what you just gave them cost us $50,000.
Yeah, I was just about to say we would be around like billionaires in the same room with them and ask them how much they paid on their taxes.
Yeah.
And they was like, we got refunds. And we
Facts.
sitting there talking about we had to go walk down a quarter to the IRS.
Facts. So my and that's why mentorship is so important. So again, I've been doing this like crazy. My first mentor, paid mentor, not like as a mentor who ain't being paid. You pay when you pay attention. It's a waste of everybody's time. My first paid mentor was Herman Dulce, the Haitian CEO, and I had a tax bill of $516,000, and I was like, man, this doesn't make sense.
That's
I know,
scary.
500. Yeah.
I would have been.
Sure.
They don't let you do a 72-month payment plan?
Oh no, we paid it. I mean, we're blessed with our investors, but it sucked. But the look on my wife's face, it's like, Mario, what are we doing here? Like, we're making all this money. Like, do something, Mario. But yeah, but my mentor, he's like, man, like, he said, you're doing all this investment stuff. You're talking about taxes. Like, why don't you like help people? And so he actually, long story short, he actually referred me to his CPA. His CPA was like, man, like, you should structure your business where you're actually doing tax strategies yourself, and you should imply these, because the whole time we had one piece of property and we were just growing it up with the stock market, because historically the stock market grows more than real estate. And I was like, well, I don't want to do that. But after I like sat down and did the numbers from a compounding interest standpoint, include taxes, I would actually, even though my real estate portfolio does not grow as much as my stock portfolio, if you include taxes each year, paying $500, the next year maybe $700,000, it's actually cheaper for me not to make as much money in real estate because I pay less in taxes. But if I didn't have that conversation, then life wouldn't be where it is today, where I'm making more money because I'm paying less taxes.
What's the most expensive mistake you feel like you made in business?
Oh, buying an SUV. I'm not an SUV, buying a semi-truck. Yeah, so
that was the trend during COVID. Go get you a semi.
Yeah,
You're gonna make $1 million a month.
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy. So I bought it, and that's why coaching is so important. Coaching is very important. So I bought a semi truck. It was $65,000. I bought it like December 15th because, again, when you
End
buy
of the year,
yeah,
write off.
yeah, right, yeah. So buy something and write it off. Yeah, yeah, it's cool. But yeah, so I did that. Didn't know anything about semi trucks at all. Right, I should have paid a coach. I actually have a quasi relationship with Alex Good Energy. I could have picked up the phone and call him and have him mentor me and pay him, but whatever though. Dumb Mario. So yeah, so 3 years later, I'm $95,000 in. I've made about $4,000, and right now my truck is in a truck yard in Nashville just collecting dust because I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Because from a selling standpoint, I don't want to sell it.
It's hard
right?
to sell those too.
Yeah, well, first it's hard to sell, but then of course, because I did this Section 179 depreciation, I got to recapture that. So when I sell, I'm gonna pay. So either I'm gonna hit the road and just pay somebody mentorship and do it, or I'm gonna donate it. Because if I donate it to a charity, then that will be a tax deduction. But then, like the inner self of you, like when something does not happen like it's supposed to, you're like, no, don't give up, don't never give up.
That's still $100,000.
100 band donation.
Yeah. So I would say that. And then the second thing, I'm always upfront and transparent. 2022. So like when COVID happened in 2020, we did an amazing job getting clients out the market. We got back in. Clients kind of rode that wave. In 2020, the height of the tech interest rate bubble in 2020, late 21, early 2022, we could have did a better job. I mean, clients, even though they made money, but like they didn't make as much money as they did in 2020. So we could have did a better job of taking more clients out the market quicker when the interest rate bubble kind of spiked October, November 2021. So yeah.
Man, that's dope, man. I love accountability. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
of course,
And
yeah.
transparency.
Yeah.
A lot of people be like, oh, yeah.
It's
Nothing.
always good.
It's everything.
It's always good.
And that's not true, man.
Stop the cap.
Facts. And, we just try to make sure that we give people the real. So that's what we like to do here with the Life in HD podcast. Property Bros podcast, we like to just give people the real view of it, the good, the bad, the ugly. And I think that what you're doing is pivotal because it's helping everybody. Anytime you make an income, you're going to have a tax bill and how to offset it. So, I mean, I think, this gives you a good reality because I ain't going to lie. When we scaled to 8 figures a year, taxes was never something that was in our mind.
Yeah.
Really?
It was like, nah, because, it's 2 ways you can look at it, right? You can kind of, like you said, do evasion, but hood evasion, meaning claim taxes, but write off everything. And say you traveled and bought these food, that's when you could write off meals and uniforms and stuff. But what that did was it made us not bankable.
So let's stay here. That's a great difference. It is a huge difference between a tax strategist and a CPA/tax preparer, right? So a CPA and a tax preparer, and I have CPAs that work for me, so I'm not anti-CPA, I'm just being real. A CPA, their number one job is to make sure that you file on time, because as we said earlier, you need to file. Like the E10 number depends on it, that you have to file. So they are never progressive, they're always regressive. They always look back and say what you did. A tax strategist looks forward and says what you need to do so this does not happen again. So again, for us from a firm standpoint, we lean into tax strategies. Most CPAs also, again, I'm giving y'all the game, their business structure does not allow them to be a tax strategist.
Correct.
Because they're preparing taxes. It's tax time. They got to do 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 tax preparations, and then they got to do extensions. And then October 15th they got to do business extensions. Like it doesn't behoove them, and they make money if you not owe, get a refund, not get a refund. They make the same amount of money. Yeah. So but if they lean into strategies, their whole payment structure will be different. As a tax strategist, we get paid if we actually decrease your tax liability. But when we decrease your tax liability, we increase your net worth. So we're actually doing what's best for the client. So that's why we tell everybody, especially if you're making 6 figures or more, you need to have 2 things, a tax strategist and a CPA, not one.
So let me ask you this, right? That's something that a lot of my friends that are approaching wealth and, online making a lot of money, clothing lines making money, things like that. It's easy to make 100,000 now. People do that in a month now, especially with social media being
They
prevalent.
doing that in a day.
Yeah, I know people that do it in a day as well. But they're also scared of the CPA, the tax planners, and then I heard recently of a thing called an EA. What do you think is a reasonable amount of money to do it, and what's a good pay structure? Like, should a CPA be paid a fee monthly? Should they be paid a percentage of your revenue? What is the SOP, the standard of operating procedures for those type of positions?
Yeah, great question. People run their businesses differently, so I don't like to, be in people's pockets. I can tell you how we structure our fees and how our clients like those fees being structured. So to create the tax strategy, that means creating your strategy. We have an automated system that throughout the year kind of tells you kind of what to do. And we also do your documentation. So this is very important. When you do those like vacations, you guys go all over the world. Some of that stuff you can write off. But if you don't have your operating agreement in place and your operating agreement dictates that you are going on vacation for business, if you ever get out of it, you might have to pay some of that money back. Also, you need to have a vacation log. That vacation log says, this is what I did, how I did it, what money I spent. So again, if you ever get out of it, you have that log, right? So a tax strategist does that. So we create all those documentations. So for your 179, your purchase agreement, your mail logs, all that stuff, we create. And it's all automated as well. Like I said, the Augusta rule, which we may or may not talk about, we have your board of directors, you need your meeting minutes, we do all that stuff. So from a strategy standpoint, not only are we giving you what to do to reduce your tax liability, but all the documentation involved as well. If you ever get out of it, you have things to justify it, right? So we have all that. Like I said, we help structure the business. So we charge, depending on a person's income, anywhere between $2,500 and up, right?
That's not bad.
So that's that part. But then for us, from a compensation standpoint, if you want us to prepare and file your taxes, we do merit based. Again, most CPAs, doesn't matter if you make money or not make money, you can be charged the same. We don't do that. It's merit. So if we save you money, then we get a piece of that. If we do not save you money, we do your taxes for free. And most of our clients, they like that because we have skin in the game.
Now, hold on. That sounds painful but profitable.
Yeah.
You feel me? I like
because
that.
those profits can be painful.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna get in the bed with you.
Yeah. It's painful for us if we don't do what we're supposed to do and save you money. but it's profitable if we do if we do what's supposed to do. And it all goes back to intrinsic value and perceived value.
I like that.
Because we have given you intrinsic value and made you money, the perceived value of us helping you, we get compensated for that. And that's as I dropped the microphone. So that's why our payment structure is like it is. But as far as CPAs, you have some CPAs that charge $1,000. Some it's one CPA firm I know they charge $4,000. I'm like, for what? You're just pushing around paperworks. That's all you're doing. Like, how are you really helping? But people pay it.
A month, or you saying fat term?
A year. A year. I mean, so some people pay CPAs monthly, but I'm talking about for a year. But not us. So we structure the business. We charge kind of what we charge, minimum $2,500 and up, depending on what all you got going on, and then again, it's merit based. So if we save you money, and then you want to look at on your 1040. Numbers 21 through 24 actually show 21 through 25 actually shows you exactly how much you're paying in taxes. Another thing too, little game I'm gonna give y'all. So on those lines, it shows you like the total tax that you pay, right? So it might say $20,000, right? But then you might actually only owe $3,000. So that $17,000 difference is because you've been overpaying throughout the year. So like they're taking more out your check. So when you only owe $3,000, you get a $3,000 refund. It's like, oh, I got a refund. Well, no, you just overpaid throughout the year. What we do is we want to take that number from 20,000 to zero, so you have no tax liability. So now you're going to get a larger refund. With that larger refund, you can use that to buy more property, or for some business owners, they like to pump it into the next year, so they don't gotta So instead of paying quarterly, maybe the first quarter they don't gotta pay. So those are things that you want to do. But line item 21 to 25 on your 1040, that's where you really see how much your real tax liability is, not how much you owe with that refund or that.
So let me ask you this, man. I had to get at least one more gem for him. Everybody on Instagram was like, buy a G-Wagon or a Cullinan or a Bentayga. This is how I don't pay taxes and da-da-da-da-da. Like, break that down to people. What is that about?
Yeah, so it's called Section 179 deduction. So if I have a SUV that's 6,000 pounds or more, I can write that off on my taxes, right? It was introduced. It was scaled back, and now with the big beautiful bill from Donald Trump, is there again, right? So yeah. Now, but when it comes, that's a SUV. It has to be for business related, right? So if I don't have a business, if I'm just a W-2 employee, kind of doing whatever, whenever, I can't use that. So it has to be business. But from a structure standpoint, you need an agreement saying that because sometimes you can get it in your name or in your business name. If you don't have the best credit, you get it in your name. But you have some type of agreement saying that you're using it for more than 51% of business. You need to have logs and all that paperwork. We help you do. If you ever get out of it, if you don't have that paperwork, you might have to pay that money back from a deduction standpoint. But it basically allows you to buy a SUV if it's used towards business and deduct it. So let's say my business makes $400,000. I have a $200,000 SUV. And I reduce my tax liability. So now I'm not taxed on $400,000. I'm taxed on $200,000.
So you can wait. Hold on. Let me make sure I understand this. So you can write off the entire purchase amount of the vehicle.
Yep. Even if you don't pay it in cash. Yeah. So if
even if you don't pay it in cash.
Yeah. So it's not theory. It's like fact. So case in point, I have a client in Jacksonville, and he's in this industry. He's a photographer. What he did was he bought himself a Urus, a Lamborghini Urus, and because he does content and things of that nature, like that's justifiable. That's what he's in that space, right? So, he made like $110,000. So by buying that Urus, well, it was $200,000. He put in $5,000 down, right? So he only put in $5,000, but it was $200,000. So he's able to write it all off. So then he got a pretty nice tax refund. So let me take a step further. So he uses that tax refund to then buy him a duplex in Indianapolis.
Come on.
So he buys a duplex. So he takes a liability, turns to an asset. And now guess what that duplex does? The cash flow of the duplex pays the
note on the
Lamborghini.
Urus.
Yeah.
Say that again for the people in the back.
The duplex next year to write that off again.
Yes.
So to me, it just sounds like somebody took something, turned it in, they literally took something, doubled his money essentially, because he only made 110, bought a $200,000 car, which most people say a vehicle is a depreciating asset, but that's for who don't know.
Correct.
So then you take that asset, now you then go to IRS and say, hey, I made 110, but I spent 200, so I technically lost.
Correct.
90K.
Yep.
IRS says, here's a check. Took the check, bought a duplex.
Yep.
Duplex now is cash flowing him every month, paying it on yours. Then he's gonna cost seg the duplex.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a game. So what I just heard was, people, you guys, if you have a business, file the taxes. Don't evade it. You know what I'm saying? Run to the IRS and say, hey, I made this amount of money.
Right.
So this is what we did actually this year. My wife ended up buying me a Cybertruck. Then I turned around and bought her an Escalade because I realized the big, beautiful bill. I understood the Section 179 and how it works. And to me, it's just like, wow, this is insane how you're able to use these things. And
if you know, you know.
If you know, right? You know what I'm saying? So I think, from hearing this, people, the average person can do this, even a corporate employee, because what stops me from a corporate employee from having a consulting company on the side?
Doesn't.
And I started my company and it just didn't make money. My company bought computers, we bought vehicles, we bought uniforms, and we had to travel to different conferences for education. We had to go to Africa to do some preservation studies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So let's get on that. So, and that is section code and IRS code section 162A, right? Any income, if we are S corp, we're paying ourselves, or deduction, as long as it's fair, reasonable, ordinary, and necessary in a pursuit of income for our business, is a tax deduction. So you guys having a development company, it's 10 other development companies in Atlanta that run their business totally different. How you run your business is not how they run their business. But if everything you do is fair, reasonable, ordinary, and necessary, it's good. Like me, most financial advisors or certified financial planners, they're in a suit and tie. They got their 3-piece vest on. They got their suit. They all
Sunday
best.
best.
Yeah. And I, the cufflinks, I got those too. But I mean, I'm dripped out. So like how I run my business, how I do marketing is different than most other financial advisors or certified financial planners. But as long as it's fair, reasonable, ordinary, and necessary, then all those write-offs I get to justify.
That's real. That's real. So look, finish this sentence, man. Entrepreneurship is
tough. It's tough, right? We go to Instagram, we look on YouTube. I'm an entrepreneur. I wake up at 11. I go to sleep at 5. I vacation, do whatever we want to do. Stop the cap. That is a lie. Entrepreneurship is tough. That is why, again, 84% of businesses fail in 2 years.
Yeah,
it's tough. Like, it's not easy. It's a grind. But if you stay consistent, you stay grounded, you stay prayed up, you'll get through it.
For sure, man. That's dope, man. So if you could give anybody any piece of game when it comes to taxes, when it comes to planning, if they're not at that income level yet, but, we are in November, you know what I'm saying? So what is one thing that the average person could go do? My W-2 employee.
Yeah.
Like, what could they go do to try to lower their tax bill and, get some savings before the year is over?
Yeah. Either max out their 401k, or buy a piece of property. From a money out your pocket standpoint, it's a lot cheaper to buy a property, right? I could put $5,000 down, or I can do a loan that's no down payment whatsoever, and then the full price of that property, again with a cost seg, I could appreciate over 5 years. So again, we buy a $200,000 property, where to depreciate basically 20% a year. That's $40,000, right? A lot of people don't have, well, you can't put $40,000 in a 401k. A lot of people don't have $40,000 to put in a 401k and an HSA. But by doing it with property, that allows you to quickly decrease your tax liability and increase your net worth. And my goal for my clients is to decrease your tax liability and grow your net worth.
Man.
Increase your net worth. That's what's most important to everybody, man. Tell them, man. So how do they get in contact with you? How do they book consultations and things like that?
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So Instagram, you can definitely find me. Instagram and YouTube is the same. Painful Profits. So PAYNEFUL profits, because we make money. Our profits can be painful, but it's still money. I'm pretty sure you put it in the show descriptions. You guys can get in contact. That's what I'm gonna do for you guys, though, right? So I want you to if you guys message me on Instagram. So follow me and message me, and then put the word develop in. And when you guys put develop in, we're going to give you guys a 5-step blueprint on how to decrease your net. I'm sorry. We're going to give you a 5-step blueprint on how to decrease your tax liability and increase your net worth. Step by step by step. 5 steps. Just like developers, you have blueprints. We're going to give you guys a 5-step process to do that.
Man, that's so dope, man.
So develop, DEVLOP, develop. Math was my major, not spelling, right? But y'all put develop in there. You put in the show notes, and then I'll definitely get that for
y'all
sure.
know if they on this show, if they on this podcast, man, they here for a reason, and they got some real game to share with you all. So definitely take him up on that offer, man. Y'all DM him the word develop, and he gonna take care of y'all, man. Get y'all that free blueprint, man. Mario, bro. Once again, man, we appreciate you for coming out today, man. Anything else you want to say to the people before we go?
Nah, man. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay paid up. Let's make some painful or painless profits together, y'all. Peace.
Peace. Yeah. Peace. Let's go, man. We're going to catch y'all next time, man. Life in HD podcast. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, man. Yeah.